Hey everybody, it's Comic Crack back with another short video today. Today's video is on something that I got in the mail, and as you can see beside me, I've got my top 10 for 2016 list, which a lot of us have going this year. It's been fun kind of having the books that I'm most looking for the year on a list. Helps kind of focus my collection a little bit. I mean, I still do go and, scour the 50-cent bins or cheap bins, and I'm still buying collections of things if I can, like these Helix titles when they come bundled. I'm still buying stuff like that. But I'm really liking this. It's maybe something that I'll continue on with next year as well. Just gives me a chance to really look at my collection and really focus on where I want it to go and what I want to hunt down. It also helps with kind of going through the collection and just another opportunity to revisit the collection every year and flip through and realize, okay, this I no longer want in my collection. Just because I am trying to keep within a size limit of how big my collection is, I'd like to have it just really focused as opposed to just grabbing everything. As appealing and as easy as that is sometimes, having these kind of limitations on myself, I'm really enjoying just to help zero in on things. So because this list is out beside me, that can only mean one thing, that in this stack is something coming off the list today, which I'm really excited about. It was another instance of finding a seller on eBay, and the shipping price was very reasonable, and it was another great experience. I've since packed away all the packing stuff. I've been saving all the packaging stuff that I've got from people, either be it thin boxes. By thin, I mean narrower, instead of like a big hefty board game box, comic-sized boxes. This last guy that sent this had it packed really nicely between some really sturdy cardboard pieces, 4 of them actually, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. I mean, there was no way in hell this was bending whatsoever, so I kept those to be able to reuse, that sort of thing. So really happy with the overall purchase. Again, yeah, I don't want to say too much about it, but he had a reasonably priced shipping cost, and when I looked through his other auctions, I saw a few more things that I was interested in, especially if I'm going to buy from somebody in the States. I'd much rather make it a few books as opposed to just one book. Obviously that depends on the prices, but in general, the people that I've been looking at and buying off of, if the one that I'm interested in is reasonably priced, then chances are there's going to be some other stuff in there that I want. So for this particular guy, he had quite a few of one particular series for sale, so I bought 4 of them. He had a couple of more, but they were in a little too rough shape. I wanted to kind of stay in a certain kind of range. That's also something I'm finding out now that I'm viewing comics online. I'm really zeroing in on a specific range of grades that I want, so I'm keeping my eyes out for certain things. That's not true across the board, obviously. I'm still willing to play with that a little bit. Again, you'll see that in this video too. But he had some beautiful books for cheap, and I couldn't pass them up. So they are something that I had a collection of when I was a kid in digest size. Now I can't remember, because those are long since gone. I can't remember if they were an individual issue in digest form or if it was a compilation of stories from the series. I can't remember exactly what was in the books, but they were kind of Archie digest sized books. And it is, of course, the series called Plop. And this one right here you're looking at is issue number 23, The Giant. And it's in really nice shape. This was the priciest of the bunch, but of the Plop books, that is. But beautiful shape. Really happy with it. And issue number 15, which is also in really nice shape. A couple of creases and stuff in there, but I mean, the biggest thing for me is that the cover is attached. There's nothing cut out of the interior. There's no pages missing, and there's no giant rips Creases and spine wear and corner dings, I really don't care too much about. So that's number 15. And then jumping all the way to number 3. Again, pretty nice shape overall, considering I think this one was like $5 Canadian is what it ended up costing me for number 3, which I think is a good price. And then finally number 2 with a beautiful Wolverine cover. I love this cover a lot. On the back cover it also just has the image on its own, just full size, taking up the back cover. Really great book too. So that's fantastic. I'm looking forward. I had a quick browse through them, and I saw in issue number 15 there was a Lee Mars story opening it up. First story, second story, I can't remember. Lee Mars from Pudge Girl Blimp fame, who's a name that I keep coming across lately. In women's comics, of course in the Pudge comic that I do have, and then on various lists and things I've been seeing online and things, Lee Mars' name keeps coming up. So this is the book, so I'll show it to you, and then I'll also take you down and we can have a closer look, because there's a couple things I want to say about it. The guide value of this, the price guide value for an 8.0 is around $40 US. This one was $25 US. So I think I got a really good deal on it. And it is the man with X-ray eyes. Finally have a copy of this. I had to keep it in the original bag that it got shipped in because I don't have any bags and boards big enough for this. I had a quick look through it, and the interiors are amazing as well. And I'll show you why it was so cheap. I'll cut here and we'll kind of get closer. I'll open it up and we'll have a look together. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we'll put a line through number 8 to cross that sucker off the list. Excuse me while I put the cap back on the pen here before a disaster happens. Take that over there. And here we go. Here's the book itself. Like I said, I mean it's in really nice shape. Considering that's not a rip, it's a part of the image, in case that looks like it on camera there. He dared to look beyond man's vision and saw more than his eyes could stand. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, a Roger Corman movie starring Ray Milland, about a guy who basically gives himself X-ray vision, and it kind of drives him insane with an incredible ending. I don't know what it was about it when I first saw it all those many years ago, but it just stuck with me and kind of reoccurred throughout my life as something that I revisited. I have it on DVD. I'd like to find if there's a Blu-ray version of it as well. Unfortunately, not much in the way of too many extras on the DVD, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe there's an interview with Corman and a trailer, something like that, but great movie, and I'm really excited to have this Gold Key comic adaptation of it. So the reason why it was, I think, relatively cheap, I think, like I said, $25 US is very reasonable for this, considering what I'd been seeing on eBay for this particular grade. So the reason it is so cheap is that it's a file copy, so it has the 2 holes going through the whole book, minus the front cover. So if we open up, you can see right there, hold it up there, you can see the holes going clear through it. I don't quite understand a file copy that has holes not going through the whole thing. My thought would be, how would you file this away unless it was just in a little book that had kind of like those folding tabs, so you could fold the tabs over and then close the cover. So my understanding about file copies is that the publisher had a copy on file because they obviously didn't have things like digital copies, just that they could refer to for the final product. You can see a lot of the discoloration on the inside with some great stills from the movie. But I mean, other than that, it's a beautiful looking book inside as well. I'm really impressed. Am I ecstatic that those holes are there? No, I'm not, but I don't personally think it's the end of the world. Would I love to have one that doesn't have holes? Yeah, sure, eventually, someday, but for right now, I don't really care, especially because of where they're placed right at the top. There's such a wide gutter at the top that it doesn't really interfere with the comic itself. It looks great though. I'm really excited about this one. That's quite a face there. Yeah, I won't show you every single page. If you haven't seen the movie, I'll try to leave a link in the description box of this video. This is fantastic. So when he decides to test it on himself, he closes his eyes, and look at that, that's great. As his vision starts to kind of warp throughout. There's a lot of really neat visuals for that too in the movie, as he's putting more and more drops into his eyes. Layers and layers are starting to peel away every time he opens his eyes again, of reality basically. So fantastic stuff. There you go, that should be good enough for that. The Man with X-Ray Eyes, checked off the list. We're closing in. What is it? It's May, so yeah, 5 months into the year. Lots of time to finish this sucker up. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. And don't forget, I'm filming this on Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow is the day of the FUG interview with Mr. Dan Fogel. 1:30, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Please tune in and join us. If you can't tune in live, make sure that you watch later. I'm sure there's going to be some great stuff in that little discussion there. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you.